Good morning, everyone. So today I am going to discuss about how to do the data analysis by using the R Studio. First, I'll tell you about the basics of the R Studio, like about the software interface and graphic user interface. So first, you can see that this is the window of the R Studio. So in the left hand side top, you can see this part. It is called the script panel. Here we type all the codes, and after that below it you can see that there is a console panel. Like whatever we run the code in the script panel, it will show up in the console panel. And here you can see that there is a run. You can also use a shortcut of CTRL plus enter to run the code. Now in the right hand side you can see that there is an environment. Like whatever code you run in the script panel, you can see the data in the environment panel. And you can also see the history of previous code which you had run by using the history button. After that you can also click on the tutorials which is given by RStudio, and below this you can see that there is a file option. Here you can see all the files in your computer. Then the plot, here whatever program or plot you run, you can see the graphical representation of that plot in this panel. After that you can also install packages, because you see that there are many packages which are available in the R Studio. So from here you can install the package. Like for example, I can give you one example. Like if you want to install the package mass, so you simply click on the install button and after that put mass, then click on the install. So here you can see that package mass is in use and will not be installed. I think there is some error, so I'll again try it. Yeah, so here you see that uh, mass package is installed, and here you can see that all the variables are here. So you can also install the packages by using the code install dot packages, then in bracket in double quotes type mass. After that run the code. So this is also the way to install the packages. There are various packages which are being used in the R Studio. So the main three packages which are mostly used are the dplyr deployer. It's used in cleaning of data in the data mining purposes. Then after that, in training and testing of data, is the CA tool package is used. So suppose if I want to install the CA tools, then I will click on CA tools. So here you see that CA tools is also installed. It's basically used in the training and testing of the data uh, in the data mining. And after that you also use the package which is known as the ggplot. Ggplot is a very important tool. It's used in the data visualization. Like whatever data you run, the code you run, after that you will see the visual effect of the in the form of the plot by using the ggplot. So like this also we install the ggplot. Like here we can also write the code install dot packages in double quotes ca tools, then install packages ggplot. So here you see that all the three main two packages are being installed. After that you see here the help function. Here you can take the help of whatever data set or data set you are facing error, or if you don't know that what are the variables inside the data set, you can use the tab help, and after that there is a viewer option. So first I'll talk about the basics of the R code. So here first I'll get you to the basic arithmetic operations, like you can add the two numbers like 1 plus 2. After that if you run the code in the console panel, you can see that there is 2. It sum both the digits. After that if you want to subtract from 8 to 6, then also you will get the answer in the console panel. You can also do the multiplication by using 2 into 2 or any number you want. So answer is 4. After that you can also divide by using 8 slash 4. You will get the answer. Now you can assign also the integer into the variable x by using the function x is equal to 1. After that when you run the x, it will give the same output as 1. You can also add the two numbers inside the variable x by using x is equal to 1 plus 1, and when you run the code it will give 2. So you can also determine the class of this variable x. You can use it by using the class bracket x function. So here the 2 is numeric. So in the console panel it will give the numeric. After that I'll talk about the C function or concatenate function. If we run the C bracket 1 comma 2 comma 3, it will give the same output as 1 2 and 3. So here you see that when the C 1 comma 2 comma 3 is run, it will give 1 2 and 3. Similarly, there is also the decimal number or the integers like x is equal to 3 plus 8 7. If we run, we'll get the same number, and if we want to check the class of this variable x, then it's numeric. So we also use a function y uh, as the dependent variable and as integer x. So we uses the y is equal to as dot integer in bracket 3, which will give the output of 3. So you can use the both the types, like if you directly give the function the value in x by using the x is equal to a, and if you want to use the function like y is equal to as dot integer bracket 3, both will give the same answer, and both the classes are also same. Now if you also want to write the string like y is equal to as dot integer Anuj, so it will show no object found. So if we write it in double quotes, then maybe it will run. No. So here you only have to write the numeric function, and after that you will get the output. See, integer. So now I'll talk about the uh, logical function. Like here you can see that there is a variable z, and inside the value is written 1 plus 2i. Here the 1 is the real part and 2i is the imaginary part. So if we run the code, we will get the same value, and after that if we want to run the class of the variable z, then you can see that it's a complex number. Like 1 plus 2i is a complex number, so in class it will give the complex. Similarly, if we want to find the less than or greater than function, first we have to write the x is equal to 1 semicolon y is equal to 2. Then we have to run the code. Then again we have to take the third variable z, which is equal to z is equal to x less than y. So here you see that x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, and when x is less than y, print z. So here you clearly see that y is greater than x, which is 2 is greater than 1. So the output is true. So you can see that when we run and print, here it comes true. Similarly, if we do the opposite, like if we take here 5, x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 1. So here you see that x is less than y, which is a false statement, because here 5 is greater than y 1. So it will give the false statement. So here you see that it will give the false. After that, you can also find the class of z. It is a logical, like in the form of true and false, so it will return the logical. After that, you also see that x is equal to as dot character 3.14. Like if we run the code, it will give the same output. But if we write here a name, then it will show that object not found. So we have to write the same and run the code. So here you see that the output is character. Similarly, x is equal to double quotes 3.14, and when we run the x, it will give the same output, and the class is character. So now I'll talk about the means joining or concatenation of the two characters or a string. So by to combine the two characters or strings, we use a function like we have to take a variable f name, and inside that is equal to in double quotes Anuj, or you can take any name, after that semicolon, then the second variable which is L name, then is equal to in double quotes Sharma. So it's my full name. So if we have to paste, then f name, we have to type the code paste in bracket f name comma L name. So let's run the code. Like class, first we have to run this line, it is executed in the console. After that, the paste f name and L name, it will combine both the names like Anuj Sharma. After that, you can also use the print by using the different variables. Like here I had taken the f name, you can also take the s, and is equal to in double quotes dep, then then after that semicolon, n is equal to the second variable is n, then equal to in double quotes apartments. So after that we run the code, and then we have to write the paste in brackets s comma n, like s comma n, then it will uh, concatenate both the strings and gives the output by combining both the strings. So it will give the output department. After that, there is the sprintf function. It's basically used to print in a particular format. Like here it's written as sprint percentage s has percent dollar in double quotes comma in double quotes sam comma 100. So here you can see that it gives the output as, first it will print the sam, then it will print the hash because it's in between the percentage s and percentage d. So sam has, then it will print 100, and after that followed by dollar. So by combining it will print sam has $100. So similarly there is a sub str or the subtract string function substr. Here we had written in brackets like Mary has a little lamb, comma, start is equal to 3 and comma stop is equal to 2. So here what does it mean by the start is equal to 3 and stop is equal to 12? Like as the function represent, like it will uh, break the string, or it will subtract the string in between these two numbers. These are the position of the variables. Like it will start from the third position, like MAR. R is the third position, and it will stop at 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it will stop at L. Remember one thing, that while doing the sub string function, so there it will also include the spaces in between. So the output will be RRY space HAS space A space L. So here you see that the output is RRY space HAS space A. So these are the basics. Now I'll talk about the vectors. So here you see that there is a function C bracket 2. First is the C in bracket 235. We run the code, it will give the 235. After that the C bracket 2 comma false, comma true, comma false. It will give the same as true, false, true, false. Now there is a character or a string. We have to use the C in double quotes AA, comma, in double quotes BB, comma, in double quotes CC, comma, DD, then followed by EE. And if we run the code, it will give the same value. If we want to run the length, or we have to find the length of these variables, we use the function as length in brackets C, then in brackets in double quotes AA, then BB, then CC, then DD, then EE. If we run the code, we will get the value 5, which is the length of the string or variables, like AA 1, BB 2, CC 3, DD 4, and EE 5. Now I'll talk about the combining of two vectors. For this we uses a concatenation function. So here we had taken a variable n, inside that we put the C in brackets 2, 3, 4. After that we taken the second variable as S is equal to C in double quotes AA, BB, CC, DD, EE. So if we uses the concatenation function as C in brackets n comma S, it will combines both these numbers and variables like 2, 3, 4 and AA, BB, CC and DD. So let's see the output. So here you see that it will combine both the numerical and numerical and string part together. Now I'll talk about the vector arithmetic. So here you see that we had taken a variable a, and inside that we put the numbers 1 comma 3 comma 5 comma 7, and we had taken the second variable as b is equal to c 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 8. After that we had taken the third variable as d. Inside that is equal to, we had divided the a variable with b variable. So let's see what will be the output. After that, to view, we run the d. So here you see that output is 1 comma 0 0 0, 1 comma 1.500, 1 comma 1.250 and 0.875. So simply what here is done, like 1 is divided by 1, which is 1, 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, 5 divided by 4, it will print 1.25, 7 divided by 8 is 0.875. So similarly, if you want to multiply 8 in the first vector, then you use 8 into a. So here you see that 8 is multiplied with 1 gives 8, then 8 is multiplied with 3, 24, 8 with 5, 40, 8 with 7, 56. Next is the addition. Similarly, in the above case, we had written the two vectors a and b, and after that in third variable d, we added both the parts. So let's see what will be the output. So here you see that it will combine 1 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, here it will give 2, then 3 plus 2, it will give 5, again 5 plus 4, it will give 9, and 7 plus 8, it will give 15. So here you can also subtract the two variables by using the function d is equal to a minus b. So let's see what will be the output. So here you see that 1 minus 1 is 0, 3 minus 2 is 1, 5 minus 4 is 1, and 7 minus 8 is minus 1. You can also use the function to multiply the two vectors by using the variable by using the function a into b and put it into the variable d. See one thing that you can also multiply directly, like by using a into b instead of assigning it into the third variable. So here if we run that first code, then second, and then in a into b, it will multiply both the values, like 1 into 1 1, 3 into 2 6, 5 into 4 20, 7 into 8 56. You can also assign it in variable d and you can run. Here you see the same output. Now I'll talk about the cycling rule. Now what is cycling rule? Suppose here are three variables 10, 20 and 30, and there is a second vector which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So here what the recycling rule says, that if we want to add the two vectors, there is a recycle, like when we add the u and v vectors, then first the 10 is multiplied is added with 1, then 20 is added with 2, then 30 with 3. Now again the cycle will repeat or recycle. After the completion of the addition of the three vectors, again the process will repeat, like it will add 10 with 4, then 20 with 5, and then 30 with 6, and again the same process will repeat it, like 10 with 7, 20 with 8 and 30 with 9. So let's see what will be the answer. So here you see that 11, 22, 33, 14, 25, 36, 17, 28, 39. So here it's the multiplication. So uh, here if we add, it will give the same output, and similarly if we want to multiply the two vectors by using the recycling rule, it will give the same output, like 10, 40, 90, 40, 100, 180, 70, 160, 270. So this is, now I'll talk about, this is the cycling rule. Now I'll talk about the slicing of vector. Now what is the slicing of vector? Suppose I had taken a vector in a variable x, s is equal to c in double quotes aa, bb, cc, dd and ee. We run it. So if we type s bracket 3, it will give the output scc. Now why it's given the cc? It's given the cc because at third place there is a variable c. So since if I talk about the s in box bracket minus 3, then it determines the negative indexing is called the slicing. So it basically means that it will remove the third variable, like minus sign determines to subtract. So here the third variable is cc, so in the output the third all the vectors are printed except cc. So in output is aa, bb, c, not cc, dd and ee. So similarly s in box bracket 6, so there is no any six variable, so it will give na, not applicable. After that, s in box bracket 5. So fifth variable is EE, so it will print the EE. Now I'll talk about the numerical index vector. So here the first is the first we have to take the same vector s, and after that we have to run, then the second vector s in C 1 2 3 2 3 3. So the second code is s in box bracket C bracket 2 3 3. So as I had earlier discussed that s will run the same means vectors which are at position 2 3 and 3. So here the position at 2 is BB and 3 is CC and CC. So here is BB, 3 is CC and 3 is CC. So the output is BB, CC and CC. Now the out of order index. So here you see that 2 uh, we had taken the s in box bracket C, um, the vector 2 1 and 3 position. So the at 2 is BB, so output is BB, and 1 is AA, so the output is AA, and um, third is CC, so output is CC. So similarly, if we want to find the range of the index, then we use the function s in box bracket 2 is to 5. So if we run the code, then in between these vectors, the value between the 2 and 5 is um, BB, CC and DD. So it's between the two values. So we have to write it like this. After that, there is a logical index vector. Here first we had taken the same variable s. We have to run. Then we have to take the L, which is equal to C bracket false, true, false, true, false. We had taken it randomly. After that, when we run S bracket L, then it will give the BB and DD vector. So here you can see that after that I'll talk about the list slicing. So here we had taken the vector in variable x, which is x is equal to c double quotes a b b c c d d and e. We run, then x box bracket 2, which is bb, then x in box bracket c in bracket 2 comma 4. So it will give the value at position 2, which is BB, and fourth, which is EE. So here again I'll talk about the operators. So here are the XR is equal to 5, then G is equal to 2. Then we have to type R is greater than G, which is true. So it will return true. And if we write G is less than R, which is 2 is less than 5, it is true, so it will return true. And if R is not equal to G, R is 5 is not equal to G, which is 2, so this statement is true, so it will return true. Now I'll talk about the basic commands that are used in the programming. I'll talk about the empty cars. So this is the inbuilt dataset which is being used in the R program, R Studio. So here if we type the empty cars and run it, Then here you see in the console panel that there are various types of cars like Mazda RX-4, Mazda RX-4 WAG, uh, Datsun 710, Hornet 4 drive, and after that it's written the specification like its mileage, cylinder, displacement, horsepower, drat, weight, cubic, AM, gears, and carburetors. How many gears it has, how many carburetors it has. So all these data are given by using the empty cars. Now to read all the inbuilt data set, we use the function data bracket close brackets. So here you see that all the data sets in which are given in the R Studio, which are the air passengers, its monthly air passengers number from 1949 to 1960, then BJ sales, it's the sales data with leading indicators, and like this there are many um, data sets given. Like there is we use mostly like the Titanic. It will give the survival of all the passengers in the Titanic. So these are all the data sets. So here we uses the empty cars, and here is also one data set which is orange. So here you see that there are orange trees given, their ages and their circumference. Like from the circumference of their stem, the ages are dependent. Like which has the greater circumference will have the greater age. So you can also view the data, view the orange data set by using the function view oranges. So if we run the code, it will give all the trees here, their ages, their circumference. So there is a relationship between the circumference and ages. So further we use the various technical codes in order to determine the linear regression between these two variables, or the exponential variation, correlation, etc., and to plot the graphs, various graphs like uh, pie chart, bar chart, by using these two datas. So now I'll talk about if we want to find, suppose I'd run the empty cars again. So here we see that there is a lot of rows, so like one row, two row, three row. So in order to find the rows, we use a function n row, then in bracket empty cars. So it will give the number of rows, which is 32. Now in order to find the columns, like here it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So here if we run the ncol in brackets empty cars, it will give the 11 columns. If we want to take the help in empty cars, we run the function help in brackets empty cars. So here you see that it will fetch to help, like mpg is miles per gallon, cylinder is number, cyl is number of cylinders, displacement is HP is gross horsepower, like this. After that there is a function head empty cars. It will give the first 5 variables of empty cars. like this. It will select the top five, and it will uh, print the result in the console. So this function is mainly used in the when the data set is very huge, we have to find the gist. So we use this function as head in bracket empty cars. We can use the same function in oranges also. So let's see what will be the answer. So here you see that it selected the top six, and it will give the output of age, circumference and trees of the orange dataset. Then if we type the tail empty cars, it will give the last five datasets. Like here is Porsche 914, Lotus, Europa, Ford, Panthera, Ferrari, Dino. So there are the last five it will print by using the tail empty cars. So to load the empty cars dataset, we uses a function as data in brackets empty cars. So here you see that in the environment the data is loaded. To view, as I had told earlier, we use the function view empty cars. To find the dimensions of the row and columns, we uses the function dimension empty cars. So instead of typing the n row and n column separately, we simply write the dim empty cars. It will give the row 32 and column 11 in one go. Then if we want to find the structure, which is the name and type of variables, we use the function str empty cars. So here you see that there are the data dot frames, 32 observations of 11, 32 are the rows and 11 variables are the columns. So here you can see that all mostly are the numbers. So it will give the output. Then we uses the function bracket bracket empty cars. It will give the uh, variables in the columns, like mileage, cylinder, display, horsepower, drag, weight. So it will run the names of the variables. If we run the head empty cars, it will as I had told earlier, it will give the top five data sets. Now I'll talk about the statistical summary. If we want to find the median, mean, first quartile, second quartile, uh, highest, maximum, minimum, we use a function as summary, then in brackets empty cars. So here you see that it will give the statistical summary of all the variables. Like for mileage, there is the minimum value is 10.4, maximum value is 33, first quartile is 15.43, third quartile is 22.80, mean is 20.09, median is 19.20. So like this there are various, you can do the statistical summary of various variables like cylinder, display, horsepower, etc. If you want to take the help, you can also use a function like question mark, then the data set name, which is empty car. So here in the right hand side you can see that as we run this code, it will take you directly to the help section. Or if we type if we have to take the help of Titanic data set. Then we have to run question mark Titanic. It will take to the data set details, description format like survival of passengers in Titanic, its description, from which class they belong, their sex, age, and whether they had survived or not. So if we want to list the objects, we uses the function as a, then s, then close bracket. So here are various objects in the list. So here in the output console you can see that age dot frequency, all these are the objects which are found in the data set. Then if we want to print, we have to between 1 to 5 variable, then we use a function 1 is to 5. Let's see what will be the answer. It will print the number 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. If we want to sum the two numbers, then it will we have to type the function as sum in bracket 1 is to 5. It will add all the numbers between 1 and 5, which is 15. Then as I had told earlier, C is used as for concatenation. So now I'll talk about if we want to do the frequency distribution of empty cars, we have to first run the code of dataset which is empty cars. So here we see that empty car, all the cars had come with the variables. After that we have to do the frequency distribution. We have to take any variables from this data set. Let's suppose we had taken the mpg, which is mileage. So mileage is equal to empty cars, then dollar function, then mileage. Now what is dollar function do? That we are selecting the mileage variable uh, from the empty cars. So we whenever we have to select the column from the whole data set, we uses the function dollar. After that, to find the frequency distribution, we use a function as mpg dot frequency is equal to table, then in bracket mpg. So let's run the code. After that, to run the mpg dot frequency, so here you see that there is a frequency distribution in the console panel. After that, if you want to plot, you use the function plot bracket mpg. So here you see that there is a scatter plot in the right hand side. In the plot section you can see that the index and mileage, like index is which car has how much mileage, how many cars have how much mileage, so it will give the output. Suppose if we want to find the data set of the ninth variable, so ninth variable is here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 is am. If we want to find the all the numbers or characters present in the variable am, we have simply have to type the empty cars in double box bracket 9. So here you see that it will run all the, it will give the output of all the numbers present in the variable am, which is 111000. So here 111000. So similarly, if we want to find the first variable, which is the mpg, we run the empty cast, then double box bracket 1. So it will run, it will give the outputs of the all the integers given in the mileage section. Now uh, we also use a function like empty cars. We also use simply type the variable am in double quotes, like empty cars in double quotes am in double box bracket. So it will again return all the values present in the am. We uses the function empty cars $am in order to select the am function from empty cars. So this is also the method of selection. To know the row and column direction dimension, you can also use the single box bracket instead of double box bracket. Like for example, if we use the single box bracket, then it will display all the values, like all the cars and also the value at third position, which is the display. So if we run empty cars 1, then it will run all the cars along with the mileage. So here you see that it will run all the cars along with the mileage, and empty cars in single box bracket 3, then it will run the all the cars along with the display. So this is the end of the frequency distribution. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe my channel for the new upcoming videos on the data science using R. Thank you.